This is SBC News at 7. Hello and a very good evening. Transparency Initiative Seychelles is calling on the President of the Republic not to assent the amendment to the Public Persons Declaration of Assets, Liabilities and Business Interest Act. According to the amendment, spouses and household members of high-level government office holders are no longer required to declare their assets. The non-governmental organization that fights against corruption and promotes transparency says the government should consider the implications of this amendment and to allow for greater public dialogue. The bill was approved by the National Assembly on the 22nd of September.
People are asking for it because we've seen very much in the Panama Papers, we've seen in the Pandora Papers that a lot of public figures, high officials in government or of the country have used their positions and have used their spouses or their close relatives to transfer illicit gains onto so as to hide the illicit money. So this is why we think that unless it is properly justified, unless we can understand properly what is the reason behind this, we are calling on the President to reflect again before assenting this law.
There's a call for more practical support and compassion for people living with a reduced sight. Those working with the blind and visually impaired say many are left virtually housebound by their condition because of the hazards of walking the pavements. The call comes on World Sight Day, which this year carries the health message, "Love your sight."
Living by touch, not sight, is how Rosabelle gets by. She's taught herself sculpting since she went almost completely blind 6 years ago, after a lifetime of teaching abroad. But her sight loss is isolating.
Even in the buses, on the pavements, in the shops, everybody keeps quiet when we come in. And people don't go out to help you. They don't. I have fallen down and no one came to help me.
For the visually impaired, it's everyday hazards like the lack of pavements or damaged pavements, or shops piled up with boxes that become obstacle courses, or essential services that are on the second floor that make life so difficult for them.
The government's Disabled Trust Fund has 400,000 rupees of funding available for such things as home modifications and gadgets for the blind. Still, it's down to individuals to help out.
As a society itself, we all have a responsibility to take care. Like if we see a person who's blind looking, like trying to get access to a building, like we can approach and give out our service, like give a helping hand itself for the person to be able to obtain any relevant services depending on their needs.
This year, the message on World Sight Day is prevention is better than cure. Free eye testing, now widely available, can detect problems early.
A lot of the eye problems are actually without symptoms, so you wouldn't even know that you have this problem if you don't come and test. You don't have any visual symptoms until it's really too late.
Once you lose your eyesight, there is no returning back. Your eyes is the mirror of your soul. It's a reflection of your sentiments, and it's an open door camera to the world. So please, love your eyes, save yourself.
In a country with high rates of diabetes and strong sunshine that can both lead to vision loss, the message in this year's call to save our sight is crystal clear.
Renovation work on the Pralin Hospital at Bisnetan has started. The hospital, the only one on Pralin, offers services to patients from Pralin and La Digue. This is not the first time the hospital has undergone renovations since it opened on the 20th of June 1977. The work is being undertaken by Ascent Project. The nurse in charge of the Pralin and La Digue hospitals, Myra Enesta, says the renovation works are not affecting their day-to-day operations. IDC has said that it will be transferring its agriculture project that is currently on Desroches Island to Koitivi Island next year. For 2 years now, the company has been testing different plants on its Desroches farm to determine which variety of crops will do better on outer islands that has mostly sandy soil. The IDC Chief Executive Officer, Glennie Savvy, said that he is very pleased with the progress of the trial phase, where they have been able to cultivate crops such as ginger, onions, lettuce, eggplants, tomatoes, pumpkin, and a few herbs. The project also comprises of livestock farming with a growing population of goats and chickens. Mr. Savvy said once the project is moved to Kwaitivi to be done on a larger scale, the products will be supplied to the market that it will in turn reduce dependency on imports. President Wavel Ramkalawan has sent a congratulatory message to the new Norwegian Prime Minister, Jonas Gahr Stray, on behalf of the government and people of Seychelles. President Ramkalawan says that he looks forward to collaborating with Mr. Gahr Stray in the mutual desire to enhance further the ties of friendship and cooperation between Norway and Seychelles. And that's it for now. I'll be back with all the day's news in Creole in just under an hour's time.